Hi FLOSSTUBE, it's Lee from Creative Lee on Sunday I never remember, 10th of May, FLOSSTUBE number 25. We're in day 47 of lockdown. I actually counted this morning. Day 51 for me because I kind of went early, kind of knowing you have to be stupid and you have to be a little naive, shouldn't say stupid, a little naive to think it wasn't going to happen, but yeah. So day 47 and 4 p.m. tomorrow on Monday, the government will announce when we go to level 2, which means country opens up a little bit more. We can then start to travel domestically. As I said, it's less about the travel and more about what you do when you get there. So travelling to visit a family member is fine. Travelling to attend a 100 people convention of strangers is not. So there's still going to be limitations on social gatherings. It's going to impact bars and that kind of hospitality most, because you've got to be seated at a distance and be able to have table service. You won't be able to be in a crowded nightclub or a crowded bar. But most retail will be able to open up. And things like hair appointments will be possible. I'm slowly moving my part over because I have 2 white patches. I have one through here where my hairline, where my part normally is, through here and here, but the rest of my hair's not white. It's just these skunk patches or Cruella de Vil's patches. My mum had a bitch that she went, trying to think, I think here as well, she went white here really, really young. She had this one patch and then eventually it spread. She never went fully white though. But the salt and pepper became more salt than pepper, whereas I sort of have, that's my, most of my hair is a little bit salty, except for these just white patches. All about my hair. Just not quite ready to do the whole grey thing yet. Like, I just don't feel like it matches where I feel. And that whole having sort of mid-length hair, it's quite a commitment to go white or grey, and that growing out period will be hideous. So I have to also be ready to go super short when I do that, because I'm not going however many years with, anyway, it's a whole thing. I'm just not ready to do it. So I'm looking forward to having my hair done. I have my normal appointment booked in for 4 o'clock on Thursday, so if we go to level 2 on Thursday, I get my hair done. I'm so excited. If we're not at level 2 on Thursday, then I'm going to have to move it. Had plans to maybe take a long weekend off and head up and see my dad, because he's really been struggling, being on his own, and not being able to see Pam, my stepmum, for now. I think they've been apart about... He hasn't been able to visit her for about 9 weeks because he had a cataract surgery at a medical facility. So they consider that was too... Basically the rest home, the dementia ward where my stepmother is, got locked down pretty early. And he rang me yesterday. He was so excited because he's got permission to go and visit her on Monday with a non-contact, out in the garden visit. So they'd take his temperature and all that, and he said they said he could take her an ice cream. He likes to take her a double chocolate Magnum, I think it is. She really likes chocolate, and he hasn't been able to do that. I mean, keep in mind he was seeing her nearly every day, and now he hasn't seen her for 7, 8, 9 weeks. So we had that. And I was hoping to be able to maybe whip up this weekend or come in, or the next weekend, for a bit of a long weekend visit. He just rang this morning. He's in hospital. Yesterday afternoon he didn't feel so well. In case you may not remember, probably won't. He has been waiting to have cardiac surgery. He needs a triple bypass and a valve replacement. And he was sort of on the list to get that done through public health. And then we went into lockdown, so all non-acute surgery got cancelled and all postponed indefinitely. Anyway, he had a bit of a funny turn yesterday, called the ambulance. They've got him settled and everything. He sounded okay, a bit tired today, but very long story, cut it short. they're transferring her to Waikato Hospital tomorrow, which is the cardiac hospital. Well, they have a cardiac ward. And probably he's having surgery this week. So that's all I know. It's kind of far out. I didn't say that, I said another F word, and he went, yep, and I went, so it's like, it's kind of good. I've always said if you need surgery, make it acute, you get it quickly. Then if it's not acute, then you've got to wait, and you can potentially get sicker or freaking die in the meantime. So if you want to get seen to, you know, have a funny turn basically. But, you know, the anxiety's there, but we won't have to be anxious for long. He was going to have the surgery anyway. It's still the same surgery as far as we're aware. It's routine surgery, but it's still major surgery. I guess the thing is, yeah, we'll know more on Tuesday, I guess. He'll get transferred on Monday. I can't imagine that will be, yeah, I don't know, playing it by ear. At the moment, can't do anything. Level 3 lockdown, we can't travel. You could potentially apply for an exemption, but that's not a 5-minute job, and it could still not happen. I mean, people have been asking for exemptions to visit their loved one when they're dying, and they haven't always got them approved. So, can't travel under level 2, nothing I can do. Sorry, under level 3. Level 2, I don't know. I could travel to visit him at home, but we don't know the detail about whether we probably won't even be allowed into hospital still, so I don't know what it means. All I know is that at some stage in the next few weeks, I probably will be heading up north, even if it's to go via Hamilton, where Waikato Hospital is, get the keys, and then travel up to his house and maybe base myself in Kawerau for a little while. I'm working remotely anyway. I can work remotely from my dad's. It's no different. And Kawerau is 2.25-ish hours, 2.5 hours away from Hamilton. Whereas in Wellington, I'm 7.5 hours away from Hamilton, so at least I'll be closer, and potentially I could even spend a little bit of time. I can't work from there, but I could stay with friends in the Waikato region and at least be a little bit like half hour to. Anyway, I don't know. Playing it by ear. I just have to not worry about it because nothing I can do, and I mean, I'm not the surgeon, right? So I'm not that useful. And I think when he comes out, when he has the surgery, I think he has to go into some sort of care or rehab facility for 5 or 6 weeks anyway, because he lives on his own. He can't, and won't be allowed to drive or lift anything, or may even need help with all the normal things you need help with. So playing it by ear, have no idea. It's all like, at the moment, things will just change, so that's the plan now. Thank goodness I got my stitching to keep me sane. Work's a bit of a distraction. See what happens. And meanwhile, that's the exciting stuff that's happening in my world. Like, yeah, sorry. Voice, losing my voice. Haul, not very exciting haul. I think I mentioned the other week I'd finally got my extra soot. This is enough. This should be enough to finish my Seasons Quaker Friendship. I used about just shy of 2 skeins for one season, and the amount of mix I'm doing. So then I've got enough now for the other 3 seasons. So I've got enough soot, and it's all close enough that I'll drop it on the floor. It's close enough that I can, the variation, there's a couple of batches here, they're close enough that it will be happy days. Haven't done any stitching on that yet though. I'll pick that up at some stage, and I think I mentioned last week I had finally got that thing banging, may be annoying, I'm really sorry. I've got the doors open, the blinds are banging because I need the fresh air. It's a lovely hot day. So I got my black coffee finally, but this was hard to get. I got a couple of skeins of it, And then I finally got my small haul from Ribbon Rose in Auckland. So I finally got my Blackbird. And when I said, I'm like, yeah, I probably could have used like 3371. But I wanted to use a fancy floss, and I finally got it. So I got a couple of skeins of that, plenty. So I now have everything I need to work on my Halloween Quaker, but I haven't worked on that yet because I'm, you know, doing. I don't even think I even got around to talking about it last week. I edited a whole heap of ramble out of the video because I get to the point where I'm like, if my video is too much long, if it's longer than 40 minutes, it takes too long to upload, and sometimes it just gets corrupted. I just don't. It's a bit dodge, and when I'm not showing that much, how much do I need to rabbit on about to show like a few things? Like, anyway, not that exciting, right? I also put an order through Spotlight when they opened up to level 3 with a whole, you know, I went through my DMC, probably only one page, went through my DMC boxes and kind of pulled out, looked at all the floss where I was getting a bit low just to put through, and I needed a few skeins for a couple of projects, but I basically just put through a little top-up haul while they had 30% off, which paid for the shipping and a little bit extra, so I probably got about 10% off in the end because you got to pay for shipping. But yeah, kind of cool getting some floss. I think the only one that I couldn't get was 726, which is probably the floss that I have the least of on the bobbin, but yeah, I'm pretty much topped up with that, which is kind of cool. That's as exciting as the haul gets. Still waiting for a couple of deliveries. Haven't heard from the Australian business where I ordered Red Deer sampler from. Don't know what, I mean, I'm not worried about it. It'll turn up when it turns up, right? Shipping from Australia even can take 3 or 4 weeks, so. And I don't know if they do, I don't know if they notify when they ship or not. Still waiting for my order from Kinstitcher, Shakespeare's Pedal. I don't even know what his business is called. It's set in Miami from the 21st of April. It was in Miami, and then I had a look yesterday and it's now in Houston. So I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I don't know why it's set in Miami for 2.5 weeks. I don't know what they did there. Are they like letting themselves sit for 3 weeks in case they're infected? I have no idea. And now it's gone to Houston. So I'm guessing that stuff comes out of flights. I know that. Pretty sure there used to be a direct flight from Texas, but I don't know right now where it's going to go. So it's moved somewhere. It's fascinating watching overseas, like stuff from the States, because in New Zealand stuff basically arrives in Auckland and then you get it in 2 days. That's it. You see stuff arrive in Auckland, it gets processed, and then it gets delivered. With it usually 2 days. We get mail delivery every second weekend. If it's coming in through courier, they deliver all the time. So usually, not counting weekend, when you see it hit Auckland, you get it within 2 days. That's it. Auckland, then it's at your house, because that's the thing. Stuff doesn't move around the country. Pretty much, if you mailed something from a small town, a rural, you might see it go to a to say one of the nearest sorting centres, so it might be Wellington or Christchurch. But basically, mail gets picked up and shoved in a bag, and then it goes to one of those sorting centres, and then it's gone. Like, there's no moving across states and in and out of different, we're a lot smaller here. So it's not, tracking mail's not that exciting in New Zealand, but watching your mail go through all these different places when stuff's been sent often from, Central America, is hilarious. How many hands it touches. So, as I said, it's in Houston now, so maybe if it don't know, maybe in a week or so we'll get that. And that's got a chart and some fabric for a different project, but that's it. That's all from a haul perspective. Been watching a little bit of YouTube. I thought I might start just covering who I've been watching. I don't think any of these are real surprises. I've got most people will be aware of them. Pretty much watch Jan Hicks creates religiously. I think she's lovely and she has such neat projects, and I like how diverse she is as well. And she loves colour, which I love colour, so, and she loves geometrics and stuff. And I enjoy her videos. I think she might be the second YouTuber I started watching. I actually started watching YouTube January 2019. I don't know, I just somehow missed it. I mean, I've been a YouTube watcher for a long time. Somehow missed all the FLOSSTUBE, but something popped up in my feed, like, you know, your suggested for you recommendations. And I had my dad here, and he'd been unwell with broken ribs, and my stepmother with dementia, and I then got a really horrible summer cold, and I ended up just had a week off after they left, and I just ended up in bed the whole week. And I think part of the week after I didn't go back to work. Really horrid cold, and this thing watched up, and it was for a UK stitcher. I can't remember, she's changed her channel name, but she's Tina. I think she was something in stitches, or she's now Fancy Lady Cross Stitch or something. And she's just lovely. So I ended up just binging her. The irony being that she kind of had a bit of a break. So I kind of caught up and then there was nothing. So I started watching her, and then I think she mentioned Jan Hicks. So then of course you move over to Jan Hicks. I started watching Jan Hicks. So she's probably the first... she was second YouTuber, but the first kind of current YouTuber. And then Jan mentioned Michelle Bendy, so then I started watching Michelle Bendy stitches. And then Michelle mentions a whole lot, so then you start to, you know, and I've dabbled in others, and then kind of gone, nah, they're not for me, or, you know, whatever, they didn't resonate with me, or I didn't enjoy their life philosophies. And then of course once you start watching that, you then get a whole lot more suggestions, and then various things start popping up and start, you know, or go looking for different YouTubers and stuff. But yeah, so Jan Hicks creates, I pretty much watch religiously. I think I've bought, she's had some giveaways and stuff. I've never won anything, but she did share some floss one time, which I bought a little skein from, and then felt guilty about where I live, so I paid for shipping as well. I feel weird about the shipping costs when people want to give things away. I'm like, at least let me pay for shipping, because I always offer to pay for shipping when there's a giveaway, because people have been really generous and it's expensive to send stuff here. So, I love Married with Stitches. They're pretty new, but they've taken off. They are just a delight, the comedy. So if you don't know them, it's Married with Stitches are, where are they based now? North Virginia? I have no idea, somewhere. But they used to live in Florida. That's Derek and Christian. They've also started up a business now, Fortnight to Fabrics, and they have a Facebook page, Facebook group, and mostly to support their, we started off to support their now dye, they do a fabric dyeing, so their monthly dyeing club, and they also have a website now. I think I haven't actually looked at the website, but they're hilarious. They are adult themed, like they're quick with innuendo, they are very irreverent. Don't watch it if you're precious, if you are sensitive to, I don't know, sexual innuendo, maybe bad language, hinting at too much alcohol, maybe the odd bit of pot, I don't know. But they're funny, they're very funny, very entertaining. And they did a 3,000 subscriber giveaway on Monday, or Monday, I think it was Sunday their time, Monday my time, so it was just before work on Monday. Now normally when they do their giveaways and auctions and stuff, it's the wrong time of day for me, because I'm in New Zealand, so I'm usually at work or working or commuting. So this would have been through my normal commute, but I was able to kind of participate in their quiz, and I won a couple of things, so I'm very excited. So I've messaged them sort of saying, look, feel a bit guilty. So yeah, I was like, got a couple of questions right quickly. So I said, let me pay for shipping, but to make it worth all of our while, how about I buy, like they usually do their monthly club, but I'm doing a deal with them maybe to buy a piece of fabric. So I'll pay them for the fabric and then they'll ship it all together, and they said they'll still cover the shipping, which is really nice. So just doing a deal with them around that, because otherwise it's just a waste of, it just feels wrong and not a good use of resources, like, shipping resources and without making. So anyway, that's going to be really exciting. So I need to email them back and say, yep, I want to go ahead with, they've done a price for me, and say, yeah, just go, I'll go with a mystery piece of fabric, but just specify linen, high count linen. They do a lot of Ada, so I'm not really that interested in. I'll stitch on it, but I would prefer linen, so that's kind of cool. But they're fun, just really fun. They just entertain me, and I always laugh and laugh out loud. I laugh out loud when I watch them. And then the other one I want to mention today, again, probably no stranger to anybody, is Caroline Off the Grid Needle Arts. She's lovely, Canadian, she's just lovely, and she's generous, she's very calming. I pretty much watch all her stuff religiously. She's, I'm a really fast stitcher and she's a slow stitcher. She loves the process of stitching. And she has a lot of giveaways and stuff as well, so she's really generous with her time and her, giving things away. I'd love to support her business, Evertote. She makes project bags, but shipping and the cost to convert to, just right now it doesn't make sense, but hopefully in the next 6 months or so I could find it in my budget because I like to support people. Getting back to Jan Hicks Create, she's been doing some interviews with people. I think it's called Celebrating You series, where she's sort of felt like, FLOSSTUBErs get a lot of air time, but there's a lot of people in the community who support FLOSSTUBE but don't actually have videos. So she's reached out to some of her followers to say, would you like to me to interview you? So she's been doing little interviews for around half an hour each. And I wasn't going to watch them because time and all that, but have had the time, I guess. So I sort of watched, and I think her first one was actually a New Zealander, so it's Nicole, and you can watch the video so if you want to find out more about her. And she's from the Hutt Valley, so I live in Upper Hutt, but she lives in Lower Hutt, which is the next city over. And she's working on a chatelaine, and she mentioned one that she's going to do. Anyway, I've reached out to her and said hi, nice to see a local lass, and said, have a look at my video, could you see my chatelaine that I finished after Christmas, and I'm quite keen to do a couple of the other Moroccan ones. She wants to do blue Moroccan mandala, so may coordinate stitching. I'm not going to say do a sell, but we may coordinate stitching with her. So I've been having a chat with her yesterday around where she gets her supplies from, because the European cross stitch put together the floss and bead packs and stuff, but it's expensive. I mean, they're charging a little, they're putting a little bit on there, right? They need to make money as well. Not a criticism, but when you convert things to New Zealand dollars, you're looking at potentially like $400 or $500 for a kit of fancy floss to go with. That's not counting the chart, and that's not counting the fabric. That's for New Zealand. So I've just been working with her around where she's sourcing stuff. So I'm having a look now, doing a bit of a spreadsheet to work out where to get stuff from, because some things like NPIs are cheaper from here, and this place doesn't sell treasure braids, this place is cheaper to get different stuff. So yeah, having a wee look at that. So pretty keen to start kitting that up. Also, if I buy a little bit at a time, it kind of makes that $300 or $400 investment not such a big deal, because you're not like paying for it all at once, whereas spending $50 here and $50 there, it's a little bit more palatable. So looking into that, that might be a start later this year, which will be really cool. But yeah, it's been really nice to have, yeah, hey look, there's somebody local to me, but because she doesn't do a floss tube, you don't know. But anyway, hi Nicole. I think she said yesterday she was up to video 10. She's been binge watching me, so cringe. Anyway, so that's probably it. So rabbit on. Stitching. What I think I edited out last week was that I planned to do, my new start was that in Friendship Plum Street, and I showed that last week I'd done all of the grass. I started that on the 1st, and by Sunday I'd finished all that grass. And what my plan was is pretty much to go monogamous. I decided not to do any of the Be Well and Stitch at the moment. I had a week off because I'd probably burnt myself out a little bit. I still want to do more of them, but I needed a break. So I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to carry on. I'm going to be monogamous on this. I mean, I might allow myself to pick something up for a bit of a break, but that would just be like, you know, having a palate cleanser between courses. So I just carried on. Forgive me, I haven't ironed it. I don't get the iron out for one thing, unless it's a finish. I only have one thing to iron, so it's a bit curled. But I'm going to carry on with this until I finish it, which, based on this, I'll probably finish it this week. Because that's where I'm at. The houses are done. The houses were fun, they were easy. I didn't, like the last couple of things I've stitched houses on, I've stuffed them up. I didn't stuff these up. There are little changes that, you know, I can, if anyone wants to know, I can tell them. This is me and this is my best friend. She loves bluey, greeny colours, so I changed the dress to that and gave her, so that's different than charted. And her skin colour, it's hard to tell on this video, but it's slightly darker than my skin colour, and her hair is dark. And I changed this colour, this significantly. I added a couple of stripes to the skirt, gave me that skirt, 'cause this is sort of colours I would wear in the more beigey kind of top. So cooler tones and warmer tones, and gave myself this colour here today. Who knows? It's probably similar to whatever this dye lot is, right? Let's call it auburn. I basically didn't give us grace because, and started working my way up here. So once I've got that main thing done, the word box, I will be on to the fun little strawberries and stuff, which is not the majority of the stitching. So given, and I haven't worked on this for a couple of days. I've had a break. I didn't stitch on this Saturday or today. I do have another little side project that I'm quietly working on that I can't show on here because the person may see it and it's going to be a surprise. You'll see it when it's done later this year. But it's just a quite little side hustle. So I worked on that, I think Friday. Yeah, I didn't do anything on this on Friday. So pretty much this is a week's worth of work. So I started on the 1st and I worked on it for 7 days. And I've managed to get this done in 7 days. So I'm pretty confident I can finish it this week. I will finish this tonight. Tonight I'll basically sit down after dinner and I'm going to finish this. It's quite a lot of stitching, but I can do it because it's not that hard. And then during the week, you know, I can do a strawberry before breakfast. I can do a couple of strawberries at lunchtime. That kind of stitching really suits that because you can just do a little bit and feel a sense of achievement. So that's where I'm at with that. So I'm going to be monogamous until I do that. Then when I finish that, I'll pick up Halloween Quaker and I'll do some of Halloween Quaker. And then I'll probably stick with that. So in Friendship and Halloween Quaker this week coming. See what happens with Dad. I have no idea. I'll definitely be back for your FLOSSTUBE. No, I will be. Because I won't be travelling this weekend, I don't think. Yeah. I don't know. I won't be because I don't think it'll be this weekend coming. I don't know. I don't know. And yeah, Halloween Quaker. And then the only thing, yeah, see, Halloween Quaker. The thing with Halloween Quaker and then my Quaker Seasons of Friendship is it's all Quaker. But Halloween Quaker at least has other little weird things. So I might work on a Quaker motif, but then next to it will be another kind of motif. So I can give that a go. And then, yeah, I think I'll give that a good chunk, get a good whack of that done. And then I'll put that, then I'll pick up Quaker Seasons of Friendship week after, maybe. Who knows? I'll change my mind. I could come back next week and go, ta-da! I worked on Quaker Seasons of Friendship and didn't pick up Halloween Quaker, but I do want to get a little bit more of Halloween Quaker done since I was waiting for those flosses. And that's it, really, other than starting to work on my plans for June and July. And June, I did commit to Hoity Toity is going to be June, and I've kitted up, I think I showed the floss. Did I show the floss? No, I showed a pad. So I've kind of kitted up most of the floss. I need to get a skein of something that needs a skein in a bit, and I can't remember what it was. One of the might be 3830. I might need to get another skein of that. I don't think I got one. It's the thing, I put that order through before not sure. I think it's this one that I need to get another skein of, but that's fine. I don't need it like this week. The black, you know, I hadn't solved the black thing, but I do have a lovely FLOSSTUBE has, and I haven't checked I can mention her name, but she reached out to me and she's said she's going to share with me some part hanks of some of her silks for you she's collected over the last little while. She had bought a number of hanks that she hasn't used and won't need to use all of it, so she's very kindly, so we're doing a deal, yeah, just working around that. So she's going to send them to me. So I expect to use the black silk for the black for that, unless for some reason I decide it has I don't know, unless when I see it, it doesn't look right. Like, I don't know, the black is, her Silks for You black is pretty black. It has a little bit of variegation in it, but it is pretty black. But if I decide it has too much of a blue black or too much of a brown black, I think either will work, because the warmer tones will work with the warm tones, but then I have also kitted up a few blues, so I'm sure it'll be fine, but until I see it, right? So that will solve that. And I did put through an order, because I think I talked about doing it on Fijoa from Country Stitch, so I put through that order with Catherine there. So of course what will mean is when I do eventually get that fabric, some of these greens might change. That's okay, I don't mind that. And this is a greeny grey, but it is, when you put it next to the green it looks grey, but you put it next to grey and it looks green. So, I mean, some could be tweaked, right? But I'm pretty happy with that, as I think it looks nice. I know some of these crinkles freak people out. Like, some of these are basically cleaned out the bobbin, which is kind of cool. Like, it means I have enough. This colour is pretty new. I'm not worried about a dye lot issue for that. Dye lot issue. And everything else, some of these were a bit older colours, so, but there should be plenty. And then I get to refresh the dye lot with the next time I order colours, which is pretty cool. So yeah, Hoity Toity is going to be my June start. So, I mean, it doesn't need to be 1st of June. I'm okay starting it later in June. So hopefully I'll hear from Catherine and she'll get my fabric dyed sometime in the next couple of weeks, and then I can get that, and then I will be all ready to go with hoity toity. I've got the chart, I just need to print it. Which at level 2 I should be able to get it printed. I have a printer, but I don't know if it works. I need to get ink for it, and the ink cartridges are really expensive. And I don't want to buy some ink cartridges. I don't want to spend like $300 on ink cartridges and then find out that my $150 printer doesn't work and I just wasted the ink cartridges. So I'm pretty sure I have the 2 cartridges I need. I'm sure I have them. I just don't know where they are. I haven't found them yet from when I moved 18 months ago. And they weren't in storage. I had them with me in a small box of stuff that when I was living with my friends for a year, and most of my stuff was in storage, I had my printer and my printer ink with me, and I had to replace 2 of the cartridges while I was living there, and I know I had the other 2. Buggered if I know where I put them. They were in a little box of stuff, and I don't know where that little box of stuff is, and I know it's in something else, and I don't know where it is. So in theory I have the ink cartridges already. Anyway, I'll just go down to freaking Warehouse Stationery and print the chart. I think I tend to print things now big, so I can show that one little bit of that, just showing how some 1/1 on the chart. Is I would like imagine this was a big chart, like a full size, a full page, you know. This is what I would, okay, this is American sizing, but in New Zealand A4, I would print that onto A3, so it would be double the size. I usually do that for my working copy. I find it easier, especially when I'm stitching wearing my reading glasses and the chart's a little bit further away, because it's a little bit far that it can be a little bit blurry because I'm wearing reading like +1s, then I can see the symbols easier. So with hoity toity, I would print that as A3, so they'll be bigger, and I don't have an A3 printer, so as soon as we go level 2, I can whip down to one of the local stationery store and just pay a fortune. If I was at work, I would print it at work, but I'm not at work. I'm not going to be at work for a long time probably, so I won't. But yeah, print it on A3, so I have that. Now I'll be all ready to go. It's just waiting for the fabric and the silk. And if something happens with that, I'll just go to plan B, which would be order some Anchor Black probably. Yeah, that's it. So I managed to fill in nearly 40 minutes talking about, given that I stitched on one thing. I'm so good. Good at filling up the sound. Nothing much to edit, nothing really to add, so it's going to be a quick one to put up. Going to carry on. Yeah, see where things go. And I will see you all next week, most likely. If I don't have a video up next week, then something weird happened and I had to travel and it got too hard. But I intend to put a video up next week. In the meantime, everybody, stay safe. Keep socially distancing. Be careful out there. Enjoy your stitching. And as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.